This is the winter and spring from hell, to be honest with you, as you know.
What does that do?
It really delays things. It delays the water temperature, it delays the spawn. Things are really behind.
Translation, here we go again. For 2 straight years, snowstorms and cold temperatures have been part of April. That means the opener may be a tradition, but it probably won't be the best fishing of the year.
The water temperatures are still up in the upper 30s, low 40s up north. They're mid 40s, upper 40s west. Not quite there yet, but Memorial weekend should be the best fishing of the year.
But it's more than a cold front. It's about what time of day you wet a line.
I've been a big believer in very early in the morning and very late in the evening, no matter where I am, for just the best bang
How early,
for your
how
buck.
late?
I like to be out on the water a half hour before the sun comes up and then fish till at least 9 o'clock in the evening.
And if you can find a quiet lake, good luck with that. It might matter.
You think that they can tell if there's lots of motors going over and whatnot?
Totally, and it will affect their location, it will affect their feeding. You know, a lot of these fish in the metro area fish.
Come on, now. You don't think they have a sense? You think that they know when the opener's coming just because of the...
They don't know it's the opener, but they know it's human activity. When it was yesterday, it was dead quiet, calm.
So do they get suspicious then, or what do
Well,
they get?
it blows them out of the shallows.
Well, do you think they tell each other too? Do you think they swim out and say, hey man, they're coming?
They know. They know.
So you know where you are going for the opener, and that matters because it can determine your bait.
I'm a really solid believer in these deer hair jigs, mainly because you should see what they look like underwater. They're just pulsating and just tremendous baits. I actually caught more walleyes last year on hair jigs than I did on live bait.
So why all the fuss last year about a lack of shiner minnows? Well, because where you fish in the state matters too. And the further north you go, the more you want the shiner.
Does that matter a lot to you, or do you think there's good plan Bs that are people too locked into them?
It depends on what part of the state you're in. If you're up in Grand Rapids, Winnie, Red Lake, you better have shiners.
One of the issues with that deep water this spring is clarity, or lack of. A lot of runoff with field flooding, so make the adjustment. And maybe rely on a lure that makes some noise.
And it's got a great rattle in it. These fish hear that. They hear it from a distance and it draws them in. And I've been using this a lot this year in western Minnesota because the water is dirty and dark and high, and any type of sound, any rattle really brings those fish in.
And what used to be an afterthought now has a new thought, as in your fishing line. It seems bright is beautiful.
What it is, it's very, very visible above the water. And it's really cool because I can see exactly what's going on with my bait by watching the line. And you couldn't do this with mono before. And as you get older, as you know, you can't see a lot of mono line.
And then there's the walleye chop. Waves create movement, movement creates fish.
Actually, more wind the better, as long as you are paying attention and it's not life-threatening. Wind is good.
So let's start with the governor's opener. What can Governor Walz expect in his first in Albert Lea?
What do we know about Albert Lea for fishing?
You better get down there in May and June, because after that, the water quality can be an issue.
Carney understands it because he lives it. Fishing parts of all 12 months. His favorite time of year is not what I would expect.
What's your favorite time of the year to fish?
March.
Is it really?
Out in the Missouri River, early.
Open water you're talking about now, not because?
Because it's the first fishing of the year.
No matter what time of year, the game is in part decided by water temperature. And what will it be like this weekend?
What do you think is the ideal water temperature?
I like 60. I guess it's just kind of an average, and we should hit that in the next week or 10 days.
But in the midst of fishing with an expert, you are mindful. Many that go out this weekend will not determine success by number of fish, but by quality of people sharing an experience.
You know, a lot of people go to the same lake, same spot, same everything, year after year after year.
But maybe a lot of those people don't care that much how many fish they catch if it's just a social thing, right?
Yeah. It depends what your goals are.
That must be our goal here. Social.
I'm out to slay fish, and that's it. That's it.
But today we're going to have to settle for social.
Cruise a lake and look. That's part of the game. It's part of the chess match. But the real competition for an avid fisherman is against Mother Nature.
It's the battle against Mother Nature, so to speak, trying to outthink Mother Nature. Is that what makes or breaks a fishing guide?
Always. Always.
These lakes leave clues. It's up to you to understand them Which brings us to the ever-evolving debate over electronics. How much do they help? How careful do you have to be not to overanalyze?
It's kind of like people on smartphones that are on it all the time.
They're so honed into it, they forget to look around and see what's going on.
Yeah, you can overdo it. But on the other hand, if I go out on a lake that I don't know, I'm going to cruise around for about an hour, and I'm going to use my electronics to learn that lake.
You're
Come
getting
on
bigger.
now.
Come
We're
on
getting
now.
bigger.
So
Now
on this
you're
day, we get
talking.
an idea by fishing for crappies.
Does crappie fishing tell you how the walleye fishing's going to
Yeah, very much so. If you know, the crappies seem to kind of behave very much like the walleyes, and the crappies actually just started biting like 2 days ago.
What will it all mean this weekend? We have looked and watched and wondered. At the end of the scouting session, the feeling of the expert is as follows.
The way I look at it, this is going to be a decent opener, but I'm guarded just because the water temperatures are still up in the upper 30s, low 40s up north. They're mid 40s, upper 40s west. Not quite there yet.